What's up YouTube, Cap over here, and welcome to week 2 of the RBL as we continue our push for a playoff spot. And be sure to smash that like button and support the Toronto Star Raptors on their quest, as today we're going to take on the 0-1 Hartford Whalers, coached by Greg, or it's number GB something. Anywho, I'm going to do something different that I normally don't do, and I'm going to tell you what are the 3 keys on winning the match or getting the possible W. And if I don't, then as you guys can tell, I will probably lose if I don't fulfill those roles. So the number 1 start would be getting the matchup at the start. That's really important, as it can force him to play something that he doesn't want to do or switch out, and I can get a switch out and do something else. So that's what I need to happen. I need the proper start. I need to be rushing out of the gates as soon as possible. So the second one would be getting Klefki's Reflect, Light Screen, and the Safeguard up. If I can either get a Reflect and Safeguard up, that's awesome, because his Conch Elder or Feraligatr are really threatening. Or if those 2 things are out, then I can get a Light Screen and get a Safeguard, as none of my Pokemon will get burnt or leech seeded. So that's always a good thing, and that's something that I need to build upon. So Klefki will play an important role in this match, possibly letting me not take a lot of damage from either or. And then the final key thing, which is very important, is not letting rocks get set up on my side of the field, because I have El Capitan and Zapdos, aka Woodstock, does not appreciate rocks. So Woodstock is equipped with Defog, however that will get rid of my Reflex and stuff. So most importantly, I can't let rocks be on my side of the field. So those are the 3 key things that I need to do in order for me to have a possible chance of winning against Greg's scary team. So with that, let's get this on its way. And I predicted the Heatran to come on through, because Heatran does scare my Klefki, as Klefki was my first start at the very first match. So the Heatran does come on out, and GG Goodra, the Goodra, aka this is a different variant, not the Assault Vestige Goodra that you normally see. So he's going to go for Protect Scatter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reveal that I have Earthquake, and this Goodra is actually Life Orbed. So an Earthquake will take down Heatran in 1 hit, and it doesn't have an Air Balloon. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. No point of over predicting, and I'm just going to go for an Earthquake. Do some decent amount of damage on this Mew. So we know this Mew is the tanky Mew, and it's going to be quite the thing to deal with. So I figured, you know what, GG Goodra, you've done a good job. I need you to come back. I'm going to send out Kiana Keeves, aka the Klefki, and Klefki will get Will-O-Wisp. So I'm okay with that, because Klefki only has Play Rough. If it came to a situation where I have to take out the Conch Elder with my Klefki, it could possibly do that, but I don't want to come in a situation like that. Ultimately, I decided that the Conch Elder is still around, so I'm going to raise my defense, and whatever we wanted to do, the knockoff is going to come through, knock off my Light Clay, but I still have my Reflect up, so that's totally cool. The knockoff did absolutely nothing, and I'm just slowly dwindling down to burn damage. I figured at this point it'd be an excellent time to set up my Safeguard, as Vulcan will come on through, and at this point I debated on whether sending out my Charizard, and I figured it was a good opportunity to actually start setting up my Charizard and bring him out, as I predicted the rocks to come on through, and if he did go for a ground attack, I would not be affected by it, as I am still a flying type, and Charizard will not get affected by the rock. So that's always a good thing. He won't be taking half damage, and he's at full health, as Mew will once again come on through. And I didn't want to over predict, because Vulcan was such a threat on my team, and taking out El Capitan in 1 hit with possibly an Earth Power or something. So I decided to go for an Earthquake, and Vulcan would not appreciate that at all. So I'm at a really good position over here, as I know this thing has Knockoff and Will-O-Wisp, and it might reveal another move on his side. So He was predicting another hit over here as he goes for the soft boil. And I'm just going to Dragon Dance, so I'm at +1 speed and attack. And I'm looking pretty mean as I'm going to go for another Dragon Dance. I decided it was good to go for 2 because a +2 Charizard X knocks out a lot of things that don't have defense or a Focus Sash or anything else. So my safeguard is now gone. But having the safeguard up meant that I was protected from a lot of things, and I figured I'd just go for a Dragon Claw as I'm at +2, I'm scaring up, and taking out this Conch Elder with a crit was such a big play because that was his biggest, that's the Pokemon I was really scared of, and now it's gone, so I'm feeling a bit more confident because now I'm not so worried about not having the Reflect up. So this thing's gonna Mega Evolve as this is the Pokemon that the Mega that he drafted, and I'm just gonna go for another Dragon Claw. I know it's not gonna take it down, but I was shocked that it took it to this amount of health. So I'm happy about that. As he's gonna poison me, but he's gonna go down once again to poison damage. He's gonna get dwindled down thanks to poison damage, and he's just gonna withdraw. I went for an Earthquake over here, predicting the Heatran to come on through, not the Mew. And the Mew will actually, it'll do relatively well with the Earthquake. And judging from that amount of damage, I figured the Earthquake was the best move to go into, and just because it hits a lot of his team so hard, and if he did switch into the Heatran, then I would take out the Heatran too. So, and the Earthquake would take down Mew once again. So the Mew's gonna go down. His defensive wall is now gone. And my El Capitan is still looking pretty healthy, as I figured I'd just go for a Dragon Claw here, take out the Mega Venusaur that I so dreadfully was worried about, and we're up 3-0 so far. So it's looking really good right now, as Vulcan, the Heatran, I do believe that's a Heatran, will come on through, and he did reveal early on that he had Protected, so I did predict the Protect and decided to go for a Roost to restore some of that toxic damage, that dreadful toxic damage. And I'm at a point where I can probably take 2 more things out with whatever, so I'm just gonna go for another Earthquake as he tries to fish for the double Protect, but unfortunately doesn't get it. And I'm just gonna take out Vulcan in 1 hit with this Earthquake. So a lot of his threats that I was really scared of are going down one by one mon at a time, and then the Meloetta will come on through, and I know Meloetta cannot take a Dragon Claw. There's no way it can, so this thing's gonna go down really quickly, and unfortunately El Capitan will dwindle down thanks to toxic damage, and that'll be the end of El Capitan's rampage, as his final Pokemon is the Poseidon. There we go. Sorry about that. Roman names just don't, or the Greek names don't do it well at all. And thankfully this thing is not choiced in any way, and I'll just simply take it down with a Leaf Storm and getting the W, a firm W, as Greg played a good game. He did a good game, and unfortunately for him, he did let me set up my 2 Dragon Dances, and that really just called it a day, as when Charizard does set up, it's quite the scary mon, and a lot of people, they don't want it to happen, but I did prepare for his team, and I'm really happy as we are going to go 2-0 against a very good opponent, because if you remember in the podcast, I said that GB's team was going to be the toughest team to face against, as it is a team that everyone should watch out for, and I know Greg will bounce back and prove to everyone that he's not going to be taken lightly, for sure. So thanks for that match, Greg. I'm really hoping if we have a rematch, it's not in the playoffs, because I know you're going to be so much more prepared, and it's going to be a really close match. So I'm really hoping I don't face off against you. That's my honest opinion, and I still have my money that you're gonna prove to a lot of people that you're one of the teams to look out for. So Thanks for that. And the Toronto Star Raptors are 2-0, and we're starting off the season really strong. So be sure to smash that like button and support the Toronto Star Raptors. And if you want to follow us on either Twitter or subscribe to the channel and check us out. So I'm going to end the video here as we are 2-0, and that's so exciting. So exciting. El Capitan is proving to be the MVP of today's match, and I'm starting to ramble on here as you guys have stuff to do, and I've got stuff to do. So this is Cap signing off. Take down this Mega Adino, this thing that I call such a threat. My friend has become my worst enemy, and I'm like, why Mega Adino? Why are you doing this to
Fluffy Altaria. I go for another Toxic. Because I want to get rid of this Altaria.